Hi Ram.
Hey Manik, I think our commitment continues.
Yes.
Still doing good, and we are still invested in this
Yes,
process.
yes, definitely
So
we have
we
to,
will,
yeah.
we continue to provide information to our customer base. I think we also received feedback from our customer base saying that the information that we are giving are useful for them.
Yeah, very useful.
So
actually,
they are
yes.
already taking steps, which is great to see. So we'll continue to do that one. So, all right, what are the topics today? What do you want me to talk about?
Because it's a festive season now. Christmas is here
Yeah,
and
it's
New
around the
Year. It's a
corner.
long holiday.
Yeah.
People are putting their work down for a long time, or maybe some will be working remotely.
Yeah.
So I was thinking
Sure.
it would be a good time to give them some tips and tricks or information
Yeah.
on how they can utilize this IT support or look
Yeah.
about their IT management for
Yeah.
this holiday period.
Yeah. So roughly Australian businesses have got about 4 weeks time, maybe maximum
yeah.
4 weeks, right? So
But-
before we go on a holiday,
Yes,
so 3 to 4 weeks time they've got. I think, okay, this is, I know for many businesses, it could be a quiet part of the year. So maybe, they may not be crazy busy
Yeah,
on things
definitely it
like
won't
that. They
be,
will
yes.
be a bit more relaxed and also in a festive mode across the board. So, right. Being an IT people, let's talk about IT related things during this time, right? So,
And I think it would be the time where most of the businesses will be thinking about audits.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So this four weeks period, I would say, to be specific, I think every business can make use of it, trying to look at their own setup and okay, what we can review. Is there something that we can, take an audit of and then review, go through each and every item to see where we stand? Or is there something, or even starting your own journey towards some standards or implementing some policies, implementing some procedures? So this period, everybody can take advantage of. So
Definitely, yes.
I would say the great way to get started is to start an IT audit at this time. So, throughout the year, your business would have gone through ups and downs, of course. Some would have grown, some would have shrunk, depending on their conditions. So it is a great time to review and look at what they got in their IT infrastructure. So they might have more computers, more laptops, more things, or less laptops, or still there are few laptops sitting in there. Nobody knows why it is.
Yes.
And then there are a lot more computers connected and running 24/7. They don't know what for. This is a great time to ask questions to your IT. Maybe you can get your own IT to come and do an on-site audit, for example, and get them to give you an account of what is there, what they got. Many of the business owners and things, they don't know some of their assets, what they are for. It is a great time for you to review that. And secondly, the subscriptions. Many businesses nowadays, because software as a service model, we are in that era. Pretty much everybody, either it's a cloud subscription, software subscription, everything is a subscription model. It is a great way to list out all of your subscriptions and go through the list and then see where you stand. Okay, whether your employee count and your business requirements meets the current subscription standards. Okay, sometimes you are undersubscribed, people are piggybacking and working on it. In other cases, you are actually oversubscribing. You only needed about 15 licenses, but you bought it 24 licenses and you're still paying every month. So even at the rate, even if it's a $300, $200 per month itself, will account for 1,500, the $3,000 per year. It's a great savings. If you look into it, economic point of view, that could be a computer setup for a person. So that can fund that thing. So, and not only that, there will be a lot of subscriptions, like a cloud server services. If people are running in AWS and Azure, especially, you don't even know. You will be just your credit cards are paid every month, but there are servers sitting there ideally it's not doing much work, or you don't need that much of capacity and things like that. So you could look into scaling down, or if some people are running many things, they can consolidate the roles and try to, instead of 4 servers, they can bring it down to 3 servers, for example, 2 servers. They can work into those things. Or in some cases where their operations have grown and they are all struggling, but the employees are not saying anything because that is how it is. So they are actually working on an under-resourced server, for example. So they can look into that great way and then look at their utilization and say, oh, okay, we do need a server upgrade now. So they can actually plan this period now, budget it for the first quarter coming in 2025. So that will be a great way now to position yourself. So before you go on a holiday, you know where you stand.
Mhm.
So when you come back, you already got an action plan to come back and tackle. So
Yeah.
what you need to work on. So that is a great way of doing
Yeah, it
things.
will
Yeah.
also be great as there won't be much people in the office,
Yeah, that's
and the
right.
IT support team or the IT service provider can actually manage that properly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the great way here is that if you already got an IT provider, IT support provider,
Mhm.
the best thing is just start the conversation
Yeah,
with them.
yeah,
Yeah, start the conversation. It's a great way. I think I can see some of our customers already started
yeah.
that
They
one. They are
already
doing the
started. Yeah.
process, so it's great. So yeah, just quite simply ask for a review. Obviously, it's everyone's time. We would also recommend the customers to be available for that as well.
Yes.
It is a kind of a bipartisan, right? Like you both parties need to come on board to discuss and review, because one party alone cannot
Cannot.
review,
Yeah.
because there are questions both parties need to
Need to
answer each
answer
other
each
each
other.
other.
Yes.
So that is the great way you
Yeah. The
can finish that
business.
one.
The business should also be responsible for their own audit as well.
Yes,
They need
exactly.
to do their homework,
Yeah,
and then also we are there, so we can help them to do it
yeah,
in more descriptive way.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask
Mm.
questions, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah,
Definitely.
that's okay. Sometimes it could be a difficult question, which is fine. I think even as a provider, as a business, I think you both know where you stand. I think once you have all those audits and questions clarified,
Mhm.
it is actually a clear and a nice way to start the new year.
Yeah.
So both
Definitely. Yeah.
parties clear their part,
Cleared. Yes.
and then they know what they have, what they need to do next. So that is actually a great way of doing that as well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I think this is also the time when people or businesses would be reviewing their previous strategy and going on to new strategy,
absolutely.
where they
Yeah.
would like plan for what next,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and that's where the service provider comes as well. Like, if you are planning to going big or if you are planning to shrink down, just have a discussion first with your IT team.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like it would be very beneficial for them as well.
Yeah,
What do you
absolutely.
think?
That is exactly right. I think that's where we stand. That's what they should do. And it is above all, it is a great time to start, because there are less pressures towards doing other work.
Yes.
So they obviously you've got a bit of time, and you will also be happy that you are doing towards a productive cause for the
Mhm.
business, because you are actually identifying the loopholes
Yeah.
and things like trying to fix it, which is actually a great exercise for everyone to embark on. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also now, when people go for their holidays, there would be a lot of remote sessions, or
Yeah.
people would be working from home. So
Yeah.
how does
Yeah.
an IT service provider
Yeah.
put that in their role? Like, how would they help?
Okay. First of all, if anybody is going on a holiday, don't take your laptop with you. So you're going to kill your holiday. So don't do that. And for the business owners, you know what? You will still be taking a laptop. So anyway, jokes apart, here and there, even though you're not intended to work, there could be consequences coming where you are required to work, or you're required to check an email, you're required to respond to something. It's all part of the work. I think we all do that,
Yeah,
in a way. So I think if at all you're planning for a holiday, and if you are going to, or if you are required to respond to something, I think just straight away start looking at your remote work options. Okay. So what have you got? What is your organizational policies? What are the things that your company is restricting and allowing everywhere to be accessed, or certain things are restricted to be accessed only via Office Network, for example. So you work out your plan. Either you're going to come through a VPN network, or you're going to work through a different way connecting to a cloud, or SD-WAN capabilities, or there are great remote work options available as well, because as an MSP, even we provide a lot of remote work options in our system. So you can actually subscribe to those services as well. Most importantly, just because you only got 4 weeks, plan your remote working holidays and things, and get your whatever the remote work mechanisms sorted and tested now, so that you are not a surprise. You are not sitting down in Europe and calling your IT support team. Oh, my VPN doesn't work.
Yes.
I'm clicking on my accounting system. It is not loading, right?
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of firewall restrictions could be there to access from overseas.
Yes. I think the most issue that's a common issue that's experienced while working remotely from different countries is like the IP is blocked.
Yes, exactly. IP is blocked, and then it's better to check with your IT beforehand. Even some of the IT team, they do have procedures to actually progress the request through. So they might have multiple approvals to be granted to allow the access or to let people in through VPN access and things like that. So yeah, it's better be prepared for that one, and know what you need to access. And having like a modern day work solution such as Teams and other things, it will be great help as well. Make sure those are all working on your remote working laptop, so that you can collaborate with the team, talk to the team, chat with the team, and things like that. So that is very important. So yeah, remote work capabilities on whatever the devices you are carrying with you, and make sure that you have. Or if you are going to be utilizing a software as a service solutions, make sure that you are allowed to use any third party computers, or when you're going your in-laws computers or whatever, whether you are allowed, whether your internal IT allows you to access your applications through that or not. Get that all verified with your team. If you are not sure, always ask questions. I'm going here, I'm going to be accessing this, what can I do that one? So be better prepared for that one. We don't want you to go overseas and access your enterprise systems through a kiosk computer and then bring in a virus through that network to bring down your company. We don't want to do that. So that is not an example. So here the key thing is getting prepared for that one, and test your remote access capabilities before you go. So that is what that is one thing. Yeah.
Okay. And so everything we talked about, like how remote session or remote work can be done. Another thing I wanted to know is like, what's the role of NSW IT during these holidays for their clients? Like, how are we helping them?
Yeah, exactly. Well, every one of our customers goes on leave. Very few works through during the time. But fortunately for us, a managed service provider, we don't take long holidays. So we are only offline during those main periods, like December, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. So only those days we are off. Rest of the days we are working, and our workforce also enabled with the remote work capabilities, and our phones will ring. So we have the capacity, our unified communication solutions, we can actually pick up the call from our home. As if my home, for example, fully equipped with all the phones and computers and setup and everything, but rest of our support engineers also have got their remote works items sorted, so they can support you during the time. But please be mindful of the business hours. So that is fine. But during the business hours, we are definitely going to support. We are not. There is no shutdown from New South Wales side.
Yeah, I also heard, like, I think it's 2 years ago during the holiday season as well. There was a case where one of our client, I think, they were having issues with their computer, or I think a remote session.
Yeah. So I mean, there's always these things. One of events do happen every now and then. I think our primary goal from New South Wales IT support is that during the time we know how stressed they are. So we do have kind of personal relationship with pretty much every of our customers. If not, they are not ringing through our main line. We do have other means of connecting to them, even if they send us an email, or some customers, privileged customers, do have our mobile numbers as well. So they will text us and messages, and we always supported them. So even when I was driving during the holiday, I guided the customers through the things. Okay, hey, do this, do that, and get them out of their trouble or solve their problem. And same goes with the Ronit and Santos. Everybody, they are all
helping,
capable of supporting them, even if we don't have any means in front of us, even without any computer in front of us, without internet. Just by having a phone, we could solve your problem as well. So we have experience.
Expertise and experience.
We know what to press, what to do. So we can get you out. And in some cases, we can also provide alternate solutions as well. So if they cannot do certain way, we will give them, okay, do this way. So we can actually definitely help them during the time. We are open for business during the holidays. Only public holidays we are closed.
I think the clients will be very happy to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. And other things people might be asking, okay, what are these audits, whether they are charged, whether there is a charge to that one. Look, if you are our customer, managed IT service customer, then the audit and then internal reviews are part of the service. So we will actually do the services for free of cost. There is no additional cost. until unless it is a cyber security assessment and other things. So that one, obviously, that is our line of business that we have to charge you guys. But the rest of the things, having clarification and finding out your, subscriptions, your cloud servers, your Microsoft licenses, number of email addresses, number of dormant email addresses that you may not be using, all those things, we can actually work with you to fine tune that one. So there is no charge for that one. Those are all, as a customer, because we are actually doing that one. We will do it free for you guys. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So I think the first and foremost, or the most important thing, is to get your things sorted out before going to holiday. Like
Exactly
have
right.
a consultation with your IT service provider so that you can have a clear picture of what you need to do and how things should be when you are working remotely. Right?
They absolutely. It's a planning is the key, and even just I think the whole point of this episode itself is having that mindset of, hey, we can review things. So this is the time period we can actually review and things like that. So which is actually good. And in some places who are throughout the year very busy, they cannot even have a little bit of downtime in their server services, and it's also a great time to perform some great maintenance work as well. So those ones you can contact us. So some of the things you can actually, this is the right time for you to do a maintenance on those systems. So it is possible. So we will arrange those things actually. So we can enable that.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's good information for today's episode.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks,
giving
Mani.
us that insight. And we'll move to next episode.
Looking forward to it.
With some new topic.
And
some new information that we can share.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
All right.
we'll do that one.